Sorry about the link mix-up, Mr. Pritchett. How you doing?
I'm doing great. I apologize for being a couple seconds late. I just jumped off one. I finished up at 10:59, and I said I got to hurry up here and be on with my great friend Todd Wood. How are you doing, sir?
We're busy, and I think I screwed up and sent the wrong links to everybody anyway, but I'm glad to have you on. Thank you. BKP has a 3-hour show, so we are most grateful for him. He's probably ready to go have a burger or something, and he's got to talk to me for a few minutes. So,
anyway, I'm here however long until you say goodbye, whatever you want to talk about. Let's do it.
All right, man. Well, the big topic is I'm going to let you opine. What is going on with MTG? What is your spidey Georgia sense tell you?
Well, I was afraid you would ask me that question. That one caught me off guard. I tell you what, to bring it into the bullseye, if we're throwing darts, I don't want to mislead your audience and speculate,
Right.
I don't have the dart in the bullseye, but I can tell you some things that are going on in Georgia. I've been watching for days, obviously, and I watch people all across the country. We don't have time to list all the names that are telling you, MTG has done this and MTG has done that. When every time I hear it, I keep thinking, folks, you have to know Georgia politics. You can keep putting this out, but until you know Georgia politics. So I don't want to say a new one, but we've heard through, people just putting out that she's interested in running for president in 2028. I don't know that I feel that, and that's just, speculating, but you got to keep in mind, she did go out to LA. I mean, she went out to Hollywood. She went to a Hollywood Halloween party with Bill Maher. And, when you start, yeah, she did. She went to when she was on Bill Maher, her and Brian, her boyfriend, went to a Halloween party there in Hollywood. And
that's where all the money is.
Exactly. And then you fly in and you're on The View and you start connecting with those, when I say those people. So that is a different lane as far as a money source. Yeah. But the other thing, Todd, you got to think about, and we'll get into Georgia, you got to think about 2026. She has political capital right now, and I'm going to get a pushback because I know the lane that says she's done and she's a traitor and all this and that. But actually, right now, in some areas, she has political capital. Can it withstand into the center all the way up to time to run for president? I don't know that it can. And MTG. Now, Todd, you know me well enough. Don't ask me the question. I'm not here to carry anybody's water or to paint it a certain way. Brace yourself, America. Donald Trump, I wear the pin. I always have to show I haven't given up support. He has lost women voters by the millions. By the millions. He has that side of Donald J. Trump is damaged. This is the year of the woman. You got it? You have two women that won governor's races, although Democrat, Virginia, New York, or New Jersey. You have right now, you have three women on the Republican. You have Nancy Mace running for governor, right, in South Carolina. We have Marjorie Taylor Greene that stood up for the victims. We'll put it out there. You have in Florida, what is Anna Paulina Luna?
Yes, correct. Yeah.
So keep this in mind. Marjorie, this is upsetting to people, but Marjorie has moved over into, I call it the women that drive four-door Porsches that live in Brookhaven that drink wine in the middle of the day. I
Yeah.
get in trouble for that one.
Yeah.
But she has moved over into that zone where she's palatable. And I'm just saying that. So
Interesting.
yes, she is. And I'm hearing that. I get text messages saying, there was a lady at the AJC, Patricia Murphy, who wrote an article at the AJC, said I was wrong about MTG. So, and there's people that are whispering, Todd. They're like, well, wait a minute. She's standing up for the victims. We do have problems with grocery prices. We do have problems with insurance. Now, I will say that she's upset over the lack of an endorsement to run, and that is a real key here in Georgia. But
you mean from Kemp? Kemp, is that what you're talking about?
No, from President Trump.
Ah, okay. Yeah, well, that's not going to happen. It doesn't look like.
No. But she's upset over those things. So everything down the lane. Another thing, and again, I want to talk to your viewers as someone that I'm just analyzing things, so I don't want people to get upset with me.
Mm-hmm.
But the 14th district where she's at, the chairman of the 14th district Republican Party has shown full support. A lady that works for Turning Point Action, although she's not speaking for Turning Point Action, she's come out and she wrote a big post. Her name is Emery Roy, said in the 14th, hey, I like President Trump, but very long support of Marjorie Taylor Greene, former chair of the 14th district. I will tell you right now, if President Trump just puts his name behind someone in the 14th district, Marjorie will win the district if that's what she stays focused on. I don't see any risk of her not winning her district.
Wow. Well, that's what we want, is good insight from Georgia, BKP. Thank you. What about Mike Collins? What are you thinking on him? Where's he stand?
I was afraid you were going to ask that one.
I'm putting you on the spot, man. Time for that burger.
I'm okay. I'm okay with it. I mean, we'll talk MTG, Mike Collins. Mike, here's the thing, and I'm going to try to put it in a summary. I was pretty detailed this morning. Mike Collins has run the MAGA lane. I support Donald Trump pretty well all the way through his time in Congress. So let's you got to put that out there. He brought the Laken Riley Act for President Trump to be able to, highlight at the State of the Union address. And Mike Collins come out of the box as what many would think in the base as the MAGA favorite. Now, Brian Kemp and Donald Trump, President Trump, we're all aware in Georgia had some kind of agreement that they would both endorse a candidate to bring unity to Georgia. So Georgia's not running the Brian Kemp lane, and we're running Donald Trump lane, and we have a major split, and we lose state races, and we miss the chance to get rid of John Ossoff. Let me just put a little something in here. The one of the things we're really dealing with in difficulty with Georgia is Brian Kemp is controlling every lane, every single lane. The governor of Georgia is controlling the lane of the U.S. Senate race, the governor's race, lieutenant governor, and it's very well known that he's been clear in all lanes, don't get out or I can fund your opponent. Yeah. So we're struggling with that. Now back to Mike Collins. He looks to be coming out the heir apparent to a Trump endorsement, MAGA backing, but his opponent, Derek Dooley, is well funded, is growing in his numbers. His numbers are growing. They're setting Derek Dooley up. This is Brian Kemp's candidate that he put in the race. They're
candidate
setting
from
him
nowhere. I mean, just out of the
nowhere.
freaking,
Well,
you
don't
know,
forget
closet.
Derek Dooley. Derek Dooley is the son of Vince Dooley.
Yeah, that's true.
So the name resonates. He is out of nowhere. He didn't vote for years, said he was too busy to vote.
Yeah, so what qualifications other than Brian likes him does he have to be governor of the great state of Georgia?
Well, well, wait a minute. We're talking about U.S. Senate running against.
I'm sorry. Yeah,
that's okay. That's okay. Because we're talking about Mike Collins running for U.S. Senate.
Right.
But here's the thing with Derek Dooley, okay, and I'm on the ground, is Brian Kemp has the Republican establishment set up all across the state. Now, the Republican ruling class, those people that are what I call self-celebrities. They're self-celebrities. They put their pictures online. He has that set up very well for Derek Dooley to speak. So Dooley's in front of people every single day, really friendly groups. They're asking friendly questions. He's able to say, I want to go and support Donald Trump. No pushback. Then he has a couple media types, Martha Zoller, Shelley Winters, a couple people in the state that are carrying the water, that have him on different media groups that are carrying the water. And he's in a very safe space. His campaign is going well. And I think there's a balance shift. Now, here's what I said on my show today. I'm going to say it on yours. This is either the worst prediction I've ever made in my career, or I'm hitting this out of the park and I actually win all kinds of awards. Well,
I'll remember. I'm writing that down, BKP.
Write this down. No, this is it. This is it, because you got to get ready. I will not get shocked. You got to tie Hyundai. Don't forget, President Trump went over to, Korea. Went over there, a lot of meetings with Hyundai, the president of Korea. There's a big dust up in Georgia.
Yeah.
The White House has called Korea and apologized to Hyundai. They've apologized. The White House has opened the door. Bring all the people back you want. Brian Kemp was over there in Korea. He's very close with Hyundai. Don't get shocked if Derek Dooley does not soon get Donald Trump's endorsement.
Wow, because he wants those plants.
Wants the plants, wants everything to calm down, and it could be part of the deal with Kemp. Now, here's the thing. Like I said, I didn't like saying that. I'm just going way out here, because I will tell you this. President Trump, he continues to say, and we're talking about Georgia, but he continues to talk about the trillions of dollars investment in this country.
Mm-hmm.
And what I'm trying to tell people on my program, you got to remember that when he sits down with the president of Korea and he talks about billions and billions of dollars of investment, every time he makes that investment deal, so many visas are in the package.
Well, he just said that,
That's right.
We're going to have people invest in our country. We got to bring in their people.
Right. And I try to tell people that every day. So Korea, he wants that money to come back in here. And I will tell you this, that the thing that ties more than Brian Kemp and Donald Trump, I think it's SK Battery, Todd. SK Battery, and it might be in Bartow County, and this is in Georgia. I'm just throwing this out, but they are developing right now the highest technology in batteries for data center backups. So I'm serious. SK Battery, which is Hyundai and LG down there, and they're from Korea. If you look it up, they are developing the top, most advanced battery backup systems, because if you think about a data center, you got a backup system for your computer there that lasts 15 minutes, right? If the internet goes down. Well, you got to think in those terms, these data centers. Georgia has 161 data centers going up.
Wow.
Yes, 161. We're one of the top states in the United States. So when you have that many data centers, that means you have the Mark Zuckerbergs, you have the Elon Musk, you have the Tim Cook, you have that whole group, you have NVIDIA, you have Korea. So Trump, I say it like this, I don't see that a deal might not be in place because it's larger than Brian Kemp and it's in Georgia. Again, SK Battery, the most advanced batteries being built. If you do the research, you can do the search on this on the internet. They are building industrial backup batteries, which are for data centers.
So just for our audience's sake, what happened in Georgia, I think there was 2 raids on the Hyundai plants where a lot of illegals were there. What they were doing is like they'd get these short-term visas for like, 3 months, and then they'd rotate out, and they were just running this. It was illegal what they were doing with the labor. And so I think ICE was right to go in there, but Trump has backed down on that, is what you're saying.
You're 100%, but I don't know that Trump backed down from it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that when I say he backed down.
Some kind of deals being made is what you're saying.
Yeah. There was. I think when that happened, the White House was very upset because if you'll go follow it, Todd, I read 3. I say tongue in cheek. I live in Georgia, a colony of Korea, and seriously, I read 3 Korean papers every morning. I look at their business section in Korea every morning and watch all the things that they're doing that reflect to Georgia. And every day you can find somewhere in a Korean paper something of business where it relates to Georgia. I don't know that I think Trump was very upset. The White House was very upset. They immediately started to work on the release of these people. If you go look at it, immediately when it happened, Trump was trying to work on the release. The White House was, and the State Department.
Well, he said something like, or Korea, Hyundai came out, or the president came out and said, we need labor. We need to do it legally. So maybe they changed the process. I mean, I'm fine with giving work permits, but don't come in here illegally and break the law. I mean, that's the way I see it. What do you think?
Well, I agree with work permits.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I do think that, that won't be necessary for much longer when the human bot takes place.
Well, that's true too. Yeah.
When Elon says, "Hey, I watched it yesterday," but I don't have a problem with
in moderation. I'm not talking, millions of workers coming in. I mean, if you need, and you can make a case that you need a guy who knows this system from Korea, I mean, to work on it. I mean, okay. Go ahead.
What I want to see, and here's what I asked for, and I appreciate the direction you're going. All right, so if you're telling me that the technology, all right, which I'm very upset that in America we went and we taught the world.
Yeah.
And then the president stood up yesterday and said they have to come back and teach us. I was like, wait a minute. Something bad went wrong here.
I agree.
They have to come teach us. Wait a minute. Here's where I'm at on that. If you're going to come here and you're going to tell me the technology you developed in Korea, don't forget our 30,000 plus, maybe more, men and women that are in Korea that have protected your country so that you could flourish. Same thing with Japan. I mean, we have our country, and our treasure and our money has made it a safe region for them to develop their country. So don't get me all worked up. All right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So if you're going to come over here and tell me you need this one person for every 5, to teach the technology and the battery plant, show me the plan. There's no reason why you can't. Is it on the website? Is there a training program that we can read as Americans that one person trains 5 Americans, and within 90 days, that person goes home, and those 5 Americans can train 5 more Americans. Show me that plan. If you'll show me that plan, I'm not going to get upset that you bring 100 Koreans.
Well
you follow
said.
what I'm saying?
Well said. Let me just clear up what I said. I'm not for mass H-1B visas. I'm for, if you have a specific machine tool that, like you said, needs training, you can bring somebody over, but the technology has to be transferred, right? Essentially.
Hey, Todd, that happens all the time. And,
yeah.
and I think what happens is they do a poor job explaining. I used to be in a business that my products came out of Canada. And when I purchased the equipment, part of the purchase price, because it was well over $100,000.
I'm watching my friends gain more and more weight, and then eventually, I got to tell you, this is a little dark, but bad diet literally killed my whole crew.
Wow.
Diabetes, a stroke. I mean, all kinds of stuff. It's like, you had a stroke? You're not even 50 years old. You guys got to quit eating this stuff. Your body knows what's what. You are not conscious of this. But that's why people will go to the refrigerator and they'll grab this and that and the other and put together this outrageously elaborate combination of foods. Your body's trying to reach balance. Unbeknownst to us, our bodies are always trying to reach homeostasis. You can't eat all of this stuff and expect to live a long time. And one thing led to another, and I went, forget this. We're going to make our own product. So we partnered with one of the world's top 3 biochemists where nutrition-specific study is concerned. I said, all I want is the best nutritional and immune support product in the world. So we mixed it in yogurt. It's a powder. I got a bag of it here. I keep one on the console all the time, just so I can show people.
Yeah.
And it's a powder. Now, this is not candy. This is hardcore nutrition. And sugar is an enemy. And most people do not know that the reason these bellies are showing up on people all over the place, your body makes fat to store the toxins it can't get rid of. So it just puts them over here. But I can tell you this, you take this for 30 days and then lay off of it for 2 or 3 days, and you'll go, good grief, give me some more. Skin, nails, hair growing back. Cut yourself and it heals in half the time.
Your government doesn't care about you. That's why you need a medical emergency kit. It contains life-saving medications like ivermectin, Z-Pak, and antibiotics. Stock them before they block them.
Was an individual that came and spent 2 weeks to help us implement the product and show us all the gauges and do training. Now, it was only 2 weeks. That happens all the time. I just think we do a bad job of explaining that. As far as our government's concerned, we're doing a poor job explaining that. That happens all the time with products. There's a training team.
Yeah.
So, like, you know what I'm going to say? So I don't think I misunderstand what you said or the viewers. It's like it's going back to be redundant. If does one person train 5? Does it show us the plan? Does it take 90 days and then we have 5 Americans that can train 5 more and so on? And next thing you know, we've got the 8,000 Americans that you said the plant would employ. I mean, just show us the plan. That's all I'm saying. Because another thing, we hear about farms, because I'm in Georgia, and our agriculture, we have seasons. So I understand. I watched a farmer the other day, Todd, in northern Idaho, an onion farmer for years, a family, and they bring in about 300 during the harvest and packing and distributing time. That's going to happen. It does happen. I don't have a big problem with that.
Yeah. Well, let me switch gears here. MTG, just to stay on that, but an offshoot of that, Corey Mills. I read one of the tweets that's on the internet right now, talking to his girlfriend while he's married. Hey, you're going to do everything this guy tells you to do, right? I mean, I'm not going to say the girl's name, but what do you think of that MTG taking advantage of that? Is that another run for president type move?
Well, okay, let's go back.
Mm.
Last but not least, not to go
Mhm.
back, I'm okay as long as all immigration is legal.
Yeah, exactly.
Period.
Yeah,
Okay.
sure.
Now let me go back to what we started with when I said it just like this. It's a year of the woman.
Mhm.
I think all of these things, from the Epstein file to these ladies standing there the other day, and we're gonna get right into the Corey Mills, but Todd, I watched all of that. I
Mhm.
watched the whole entire thing, and I don't. When a lady stands up and has a picture, it says, "This is me at 14 years old. I have a
Yeah,
daughter. I have 4
yeah.
granddaughters." I mean, I'm troubled by that. Okay. No matter what the
Sure.
situation is today, the lady said, "I was 14, I was 15." Now, moving right along, I think Corey Mills is right in the vein right now that we cannot allow this to continue. We can't. And when Nancy Mace, you talk about reading tweets, I've read the tweets that she's put out.
Mhm.
I watched a video that Anna Paula Luna, she said we have to stop covering this up on both sides. On both sides,
Yeah.
when are we going to stop covering up for these actions? So I think all the way around, we may be at a day of reckoning. And Corey Mills, I don't know. I mean, I've kind of had a real dislike for this guy for quite some time.
Well, I'm not so. I mean, I'm not trying to dish smut or dirt. I'm just saying that I think the guy's an intel asset. I mean, that's just my guess. But anyway, we can move on. What's going on with the Frost family in Georgia? Any movement on a day of reckoning, as you say?
No movement right now. The receiver put out a report. Okay, the receiver put out a report, and there's something I want to get into Fulton County before we go, if you don't mind.
Sure, of
I
course.
think it's very, very important. I don't want your viewers to miss out on something there. But the Frost family, the First Liberty Building and Loan, $140 million Ponzi scheme, that is moving along. The receiver put out the first report, quarterly report. Everything, the records, the lack of records, the lack of payments on loans that they had, and something that was interesting that the receiver wrote in a, I think, 80-some page report was, I think this is the first time that he's went into plural. Now, so far, he didn't name anyone else, but so far, this surrounds Brant Frost the fourth, the father, Brant Frost the fourth. Now, Brant Frost the fifth, he worked there. Katie Frost had a position there, and the entire Frost family was somewhat involved in some way with the company, but he's the only one named. This time, the receiver has said something, and I don't have the quote with me, but something like insiders. He used plural.
There was an S on the end.
Huh?
There was an S on the end.
Yes, he used in one of the references, he said insiders. There were plural references that were made that it doesn't lead you to believe it. You just are given the facts that they are spreading out their investigation. So he has gotten the green light to auction off some of the assets. He's gotten the green light to auction off some of the assets. Now, the surrounding, and very short, I don't want to lose the audience, but the Frost family, the reason this is of interest, they're very tied to the Georgia Republican Party and Republican politics in Georgia. They made a lot of investments into different candidates, even in Alabama and other states. So they're tied. the AJC likes to keep this alive and remind people they're Republicans about once every 10 days. So it is developing. The Republican Party has taken the position, the Georgia Republican Party has taken the position, well, nobody's been, convicted, and there's no other names that has been put into the investigation. So we don't feel we're going to say anything, which is major damage to the state, really, as far as the party's concerned.
Mm-hmm.
He has to bring out another quarterly report that will be very large. The receiver, when that comes out, and as he puts things out as far as what he has found, what he wants to auction, he is looking for transfers of properties. So I mean, that's where we're at right now. Nothing earth-shattering.
Yeah.
It's coming, but it's coming in strong numbers. Can we? I don't know what time we have left. Can we switch over to Fulton for just a second?
Yeah, what you want. I only question I had, we got plenty of time. The only question I had was on Josh McCoon, what's his status, but you can answer that later. Tell me what you got.
We can go with that in a minute. I'll tell you this, and this is where I always struggle with my personal feeling versus reporting.
Mm-hmm.
I see Pam Bondi, and I see, Kash Patel standing up there yesterday, and they say the Epstein file, there's new developments, new information. So,
yeah,
but
just
the only reason I bring that up is I'm looking at the three of them and saying, why don't you guys come on down to Fulton County? I mean, we have the same information that the election was stolen from the American people. We have the evidence. We have everything waiting on you.
Yeah, if you want to do something, how about that? Yeah.
Yeah. Come on down. We can be of help. And the reason I want to bring that up is we know that Fani Willis was removed. Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis was removed from the RICO case. And that would be President Trump and I think the 14 other defendants. All right. So now that being said, Fani Willis was removed. It's called the prosecution, the Attorney Prosecution Committee of Georgia, whatever. This guy by the name of Skandalakis is the chair of that committee. The case was moved over to the chair of the committee, and the chair of the committee, Skandalakis, went to the Judge Scott McAvee, and said, I need more time. When he said he needed more time, and this is important, I'll tie it up, that ended November 16th. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Now, let's stop there because he had to go back to the judge on November 16th because he was looking for someone around the state, another district attorney's office, to take the case. Now, let's back up and pull something forward with that. Let's not forget that we have a state election board that has wrote a letter to the Department of Justice saying, help us in Fulton County, help us get the missing ballots, help us get all the evidence, opened up that we want to see.
Mm-hmm.
So on October 30th, Harmeet Dillon wrote the Fulton County District Attorney, Fulton County Board of Registration and Elections, a letter saying, hey, we're backing up the state election board. We're the Department of Justice, Harmeet Dillon of the Civil Rights Division, and we want all these documents. We want everything the state election board, and you have to produce that within the next 15 days. Now, the reason I put that together is those two dates collided on November 16th. So the expiration for Harmeet Dillon, the Department of Justice request, was on November 16th. And then Skandalakis had to go back to Judge McAvee on November 16th. When Scandalakis goes back to the judge, he says, hey, I can't find anybody, paraphrasing, to take this. I'm going to take it on myself, because he's the former district attorney in Coweta County. No ties. It's just Coweta County. If you're out there, you start thinking of the Frost family, but really no ties. Everything I hear is the guy's on the up and up. That's what I hear. But he tells the judge, look, I got 101 boxes. I got 101 boxes of documents from Fulton County. I've got a flash drive with 6 megabytes of information. I don't have enough time to go through it. Give me some time, but I'm going to take the case. Now, here's where we're at. December 1st, Judge McAvee is holding what we call a status review of the case. And I think if you don't know this, if maybe your audience doesn't know, anytime a case is handed over to someone else, judge calls a status review of the case. And what that means is you got to come and you got to say, where are you going with the case? How long do you need to prepare? I mean, are you ready to go to trial in 6 months? So Judge McAvee told him he's got to come back December 1st and give a status review of the case. I'm going somewhere with this. It's very important. Now, when he goes back December 1st, Scandalakis could say, I've looked at it and I want to narrow the scope. He can narrow the scope. Or he could say, I've looked at it and it's going to cost $10 million. That's what the estimate is. It's going to cost $10 million. I don't have that budget. I can't go to the state for $10 million. I don't have the team, and I don't see the case. I want to dismiss it. So December 1st is a very big date in the RICO case for President Trump and the 14 defendants, because that's the status. Or he can go and say, I need 6 months to prepare, put my team together. I can be ready for court, Your Honor, on this day. That's what could happen. Now, where I'm going with this, and I know that was long, folks, but we had to lay it out, is where the hell's the DOJ? Time expired. When are they coming in? Are they waiting for December 1st? What is going on with the DOJ, Harmeet Dillon, Pam Bondi, when it comes to Fulton County Board of Registration and Elections?
They're too busy with the who's on first routine they're doing up there with Epstein. Now, I've got the files on my desk. They're not on my desk. We need 30 days. We got more information. It's all just bullshit. I mean, it's, we've had years. So anyway, that's my
Todd. I am, like I said, I get up in the course of the day, and I have to tell you, as I have hope. Okay, I have hope.
Yeah. Okay, good.
But I dislike. I'm gonna be very candid. I said I'm gonna give this individual a chance. I'm totally out on Pam Bondi. Okay, yeah, I'm out on Pam Bondi. I've heard enough. On day one, I told somebody the other day, you know what, President Trump, okay, day one, you know what the base wants. Day one, you stand next to Pam Bondi, and you say, first and foremost, women were raped, women were abused, they were groomed, they were manipulated. And that will be first and foremost through this entire thing. I know, MAGA, you want them released, but we will not lose sight of the victims first. Second, she will, by my direction, release everything that does not hurt one of these victims. And we will be very transparent with you, and we will get this done. I have to tell you, my upset part, and I don't want your audience upset with President Trump, is you can't just yell Democrat hoax. You can't do it. We understand that. You can't cough up. Now, you and I have been in this for a long time. What's the first thing they always do? They cough somebody up. And that's Larry Summers right now, right?
Yeah.
And they'll cough up a couple more. They'll get a couple more. You can't just do that. And at no time has President Trump basically, to me, come out and said, the ladies need to be thought of first and foremost. I mean, there's a total attack on Thomas Massey, total attack on MTG. hey, I get they're not happy, but Pam Bondi's the one that pulled the binder stunt. Pam Bondi's the one that said it's on my desk. Pam Bondi's the one that had a missing minute out of the tape. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
Nothing has gone right, and I hate to say comedy of errors. I don't know that anything was an error. Now, Todd, let me ask you this. I knew you were going to get me worked up in this segment. Now, no, let me tell you what's really got me, just really has me. 427 members of Congress. Now, you think about this. I've been covering politics my whole life. 427 members. Now, Clay Higgins, whatever, he voted no, and I've heard the reasoning. But 427 members came together in the House, and then the Senate suspended the rules, suspended debate rules and everything, and did in a unanimous order, right? And within 24 hours, we found something to unify this country to send to the President of the United States desk for signature. Yeah. We can't do it on health care. We can't do it on cutting the budget. We can't do it on anything. Yeah. We can't suspend the rules. We can't do a filibuster. We can't suspend the filibuster. We can't do that with anything. Now, here's the thing, and I'll get out of your way. Do you really think 427 members voted for something to be signed by the president that would implode their own institution? Hell no.
Yeah. Sorry,
Todd.
No, you're right. I mean, I've just kind of, it's a theater. It's just a comedy to me. I think this whole FBI and DOJ is not who we think they are. But
well, anyway. I'm hearing things about Kash Patel that I don't want to hear.
I know. I wasn't going to get into that, but you listen to Candace Owens, man, it's pretty. She's dropping stuff every night.
I'm just pulling. I'm pulling a couple. I got about 7 hours a day invested here, and I'm pulling a couple pieces from different people. Mm-hmm. And I don't go into them on the show because unless I could truly validate, but I'm hearing some things I don't like. Here's the other thing, Todd, I mean, President Trump, something's got to give, because it's like with the health care. I mean, now he wants to give the money back. So
I just don't take the money in the first place. That was my initial thought. Why do you have to give the money back? Just don't take it.
I'm thinking, well, here's what I'm thinking. So what you're telling me is you have no plan.
Yeah.
And then the catchword now is affordability. Now, we got our asses handed to us in Georgia with 2 Democrat PSC races. I mean, we got it handed to us, and it was basically the only thing, Todd, that they ran in that election was look at your electric bill. If it went up, vote for me. That was the whole campaign. And 2 Democrats won statewide elections here in Georgia.
Very easy to do. There's just like Mandami in New York. Yeah.
No matter what anyone said, that was it. And then President Trump's on there talking. The only thing that went up was beef. And I'm like, whoa, Mr. President, who's advising you right now? Slow down.
That's the problem.
And who's advising you? And wait a minute. So are you telling me the answer is to send out $2,000? Todd, one of the inflation problems we had was printing. He keeps telling us this is $2,000 from tariff money.
It's just election ploy. Yeah.
We have $38 trillion in debt. We have no extra money.
Yeah.
You don't have, and when you do it, you have to print it. And what happened before, Todd, when they sent them checks out? Everybody dumped it into the economy. Boom, inflation goes up. You can't send everybody a $2,000 check.
You can't do that. Happen. Yeah. BKP, I think that is the time limit. Thank you for your insight. No, man. You helped me out because Commander Salamander didn't make it today, so thank you. But I want to have you back, man. I want to get you on a regular basis because I love your insight and I love what you do is tying the global stuff because I know you get up at, what do you get up? 4 a.m.
3:30. 3:30. I call it my Resolute desk. I'm at the Resolute desk at 4 a.m. Oh, don't forget. 600,000 Chinese students, Todd. That ought to be a
don't get me started. So who makes the coffee at 3:30? It's not your wife, I assume.
I set it at night. I set it at night. It's ready to go. I got a ritual. Excellent. I know exactly where something's at in the refrigerator. And I'm up here at 4 a.m. to watch the deep state corporate corrupt media. We need to talk about immigration as soon as we can and what's going on. I'm going to give you something to look up.
Okay.
I call it screen time because, as you know, what I do is I study the deep state corporate corrupt mockingbird media. I watch ABC in the morning. I watch local Atlanta. I watch CNN, MSNBC. I watch all of them. And they all get screen time. Chicago, right? Chicago, immigration. Chicago raids, LA, Minnesota, right? Portland. It's all screen time. It's what I call backpack reporters. I love them, but they're back. Go look up. Remember the Darien Gap, the camp with all the Chinese men, right?
Yeah.
Go look up. This is what they won't tell you because there's no screen time. It's not exciting. It's not CNN satellite dish. The backpack journalists don't want to go do it. What is the number one thing in 5 years? What they came across the border in 5 years that we've developed. We legalized marijuana. Go look at the state of Oklahoma. Oklahoma's not attractive. It's not LA. It's not Chicago. It does not have screen time.
Yeah.
Go look at Oklahoma, the amount of illegal weed farms and Chinese gangs.
Oh, yeah. It's the
Go
same
look it
way
up.
in Maine. Same way in Maine. BKP, thank you very much. We'll have you back and really appreciate your insight. You're a show favorite. Thank you, sir. We'll talk to you later.
I appreciate you, Todd. Anytime.
All right.